Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my third Quake Live Duel commentary video. I'm Memento Mori, and today we're gonna see another Blood Run duel. The news for this week are that I got a new microphone, and I will use Wolfcam QL to display the opponent point of view from my own demo. For those interested in how demo work in Quake, the idea is that a demo is just a recording of the network stream. Now, for efficiency reasons, the server sends to your client only the information that is relevant to you. So, information that is about the entities inside the visibility region of where you are. So, every map is split into visibility region according to the geometry. When you're inside the room, you don't get information about things that are on the other half of the map, but just about this room, the hallways, and whatever you basically can see. When it comes to the enemy information, you get the position, orientation, and weapon that they are having, but not the amount of health and armor, because that's kind of stuff that the server process when it has to resolve for hits and everything. So basically, when you get a demo, you can switch point of view only when the enemy is nearby. That's why you will see the little window in the corner switching path sometimes very hectically. So let's see how it goes.
3, 2, 1, fight.
The start is okay, but actually the enemy gets a better one. You can get Mega, Rail, and Red. I can get Rocket and Discharge and try to go quickly to the other yellow, but I'm probably too slow for that. See the enemy and do a bit of spam. The enemy needs rocket, but I actually need all the other weapons, so I don't really want to get into his way. I come in this area because I know it should be safe, but actually the enemy drops and hit me. So I really have to play slowly, make sure I don't get too much damage. I see that the opponent is greedy in getting items, which is okay. Because he could already commit and try to kill me. But that's not the case, so I can basically run around. Here I mess up with the timing. I should have known the time for the other yellow, and actually I don't have the time for this one, so waiting here is a bit stupid. The next thing is that I want to get a rail and possibly do a bit of spam to Mega, which I roughly have an idea when it spawns. So I drop here. And then Mega is up, and I try my luck. So basically, it's about exit option when you do a fight. I just, within the range of dodging, I just moved toward the Mega, and this really paid off. Now here I do a bit of a mistake. I'm afraid of not taking this red because of the enemy, but taking it at that time forces me to sync Mega and red. So at the next spawn, I will have to take care of killing the enemy, taking one item, and then drop to the other one. And as you will see, it won't really work. The reason is that between this kill and my pickup, there is just too much time. This gives the time to the enemy to just go and steal Mega. Now, picking this fight is not very smart from him. I mean, our stock is somewhat similar because he took Mega, but actually I had the weapons, he only had the shaft. Wow, that rocket, I mean, he really missed something. I think I messed up with the sound. I didn't really realize it was behind me, so it could have really done like 100 damage easily. I'm in a very good situation. I have timing of the major items. I have weapons. And I'm also stealing those yellows, which are important because they limit, stealing yellows limit the options of your opponent. If he only can play with one yellow and the shards, he basically can build 100 armor in 1 minute. And if you just hit one rail in that minute, that's all you have to do to keep him at bay. Here I'm too slow. You can see that getting in position like even 1 second after the right moment can really cost a lot. I'm happy that rocket jump, which was not intentional, pushed me away, and so I could fall back and take the items. Now the problem is that the enemy is really challenging for item and committing too much. He should just damage me when I take them, but stay away. Just getting all this damage and frags, this is not good. So here I do a bad mistake in terms of planning. There are 3 seconds between red and mega, and instead I just drop, probably because I didn't plan correctly. And here a second mistake. Basically I jump in too early, like half a second. Then I will have to dodge away, and the enemy can steal mega and kill me. This is very stupid because taking red and dropping to mega is one of the classic moves you see in Bloodrun. And it basically works because you just can storm in and bully the other player, and 3 seconds are more than enough. So here I'm doing a bit of damage. I'm somehow keeping my position longer than I should, and I'm happy the opponent didn't punish me. Anyway, I don't want to challenge, so I just want to pick whatever the opponent leaves out. Like for instance this red, wow, this is such a big mistake, and this timing, Mega was up like for 1-2 seconds, he could have just gone and take it. So now the situation is a bit even. I'm in a slight advantage because I have weapons that he doesn't have, but I have to build a stack. So the enemy probably is taking care of the yellows. So I see him now going up for the upper one. I will take red, which will give me a slight advantage, especially after this damage. So this next mega really counts. I'm expecting him to be exactly where it is, but he dodges, and this rail is, well, very lucky for me. Same situation where we have the same stack, but I have weapon advantage and I can do damage. So by looking at how he plays, I can really see a lot of mistakes that I usually do when I play without really thinking of a plan. If you take specific actions, it's doing right things, like it's doing damage here and there, it's trying to challenge for some items, but the problem is that there is no big plan. Like sometimes it does damage and then it doesn't capitalize on that, or other times he didn't do enough damage to actually challenge and it just arrives there. I think this is the kind of experience that a lot of people playing Quake have. Like people playing Clan Arena and then they move to Duel and they know how to move around, they know how to shoot, and they also think that they somehow should be able to win, especially win against a weaker opponent. And then you can find a situation where there is a guy that is clearly less skilled in fighting that just beats you because he's a Pac-Man and can eat everything. So if you are in this situation, my suggestion is to really start watching demos, because I'm pretty sure that you're not watching any demos. And the thing is, you should watch your own demos to look for mistakes, and you should watch demos of better players to find new things that you should do. But the most important thing to remember is that there is a lot of reasoning in Duel that can be done in advance. It's like you can think of all sorts of situations like I'm in control, what should I do, with 2 minutes left and below 3 frag. For every situation there is really like a set of things that you can do. Then of course execution matters, then of course the enemy matters, but a lot can really be planned in advance. Especially there are a lot of mistakes that people do that could be avoided by simply knowing that that should never be done in that particular situation. So it's like really building a mental puzzle where every piece is one of these situations, and then being able while playing to recognize which pieces you're touching and what is the best way to put things together. The game is pretty much over. There is not much left to say. So let's talk a bit about what I would like to present with the next videos. To help you understanding what I'm talking about, I made this chart that includes the different kind of skills a dueler needs. I put the first category as base skills, which is something I assume everybody watching this video already knows about, so aiming, dodging, and choosing the right weapon. Of course, you can go into a lot of details, Pro players are just amazing in the way they do every single item here. But you know, a lot of people have like a general understanding, especially if you come from clan arena. There are also a lot of skills that depend on the map, and these include especially how to attack and defend the items locations, and things like the routes you can take, the traps you can set, and how you can do spam. Even if you know these kind of things that you could know if you've played other game modes, then there is the whole dimension of Duel, and I try to split things into two levels. Like there is like a basic Duel knowledge, which is understanding the role of the player in control versus the player out of control, and knowing that depending in which situations you are, you probably should do a certain thing instead of another. The second thing that you probably need, it's item timing. I tried to make a guide about this, which was posted on Yes Reality, that goes into details on how to do different things. And once you know these things, there is actually the real part of dueling, what I think is the hardest thing of dueling, which is what I call position management and enemy awareness. Good players really know where the opponent is, how much staff he has, what weapons he has, and what options he has. And you know, when Rafa says that he's 5 steps ahead of the opponents, it's really at this level here. Positioning management, it's like the exit option in battles, but it's not only that. It's stuff like, I want to delay my opponent because I need 5 seconds to go from here to there, and so I stick in this location and I spam the entrance with the grenades. You will see pro players do this kind of things a lot. They are just good at planning, and they are resourceful in finding, you know, the right solution to make sure that the opponent cannot do a certain thing. So this is it for this video. Thank you for watching. This is Memento Mori, and see you next time.